For today's cup of coffee, I read this article the first time and I thought, this is ludicrous. And then I read it again and went back and thought about it. And so this is actually what I thought was ludicrous was actually pretty damn cool. And this comes from Daily Mail and is by Stacy Liberatore, and that was November the 14th of 2023. A physics professor has ambitious plans for his DNA following his death. He wants to send them to the moon in hopes aliens will create an army of his clones. And the idea may sound like the plot of a science fiction film, but Ken Ohm, 86, has employed a Texas-based company to launch his remains to the south pole of the lunar surface. The Kansas resident has a long-lived love for space, with dreams of once becoming an astronaut, but NASA said no because he was 6 feet tall, but he has teamed up with Celestis that charges $12,500 for a one-way trip to the moon. While Ohm looks forward to extraterrestrials finding his genetic blueprints, he also sees the mission as the ultimate memorial. The moon is full. His descendants will look up and think, "Oh, Ken has his DNA up there," he said. Celestis, founded in 1994, specializes in launching remains into space, and now that commercial flights have taken off, pun intended, I guess, the company sees a new way for human burials. However, the company has launched remains of people from more than 35 nations worldwide, including James Scotty Doan, who played Lieutenant Commander Montgomery Scott in the television and film series Star Trek, which I thought was just amazing. Scotty was always one of my favorite characters. Celestis offers several options for space burials that will launch ashes to space and return them to Earth, send them out to orbit, the moon, and even deep space. An Earthrise memorial starts at $2,495, while an Earth orbit memorial costs $5,000. This shoots ashes into space atop a rocket which orbits the Earth but is destroyed upon re-entry. However, the moon and deep space burials go for $12,500. The average Earth burial costs around $10,000. So, for a few more dollars. Capsules containing the cremated remains are placed aboard a UP Aerospace Space Loft XL rocket. The launches are part of a mission sponsored by the NASA Spaceflight Opportunities Program, which conducts microgravity experiments and technology demonstrations, according to Celestis. And Ohm has chosen the moon as his final resting place. Speaking with the New York Times, Ohm said that he also considered aliens recreating him for an intergalactic zoo. When Ohm launches into space, his family and friends will be invited to sit and watch the rocket take off with his DNA housed inside. But before takeoff, Celestis holds an astronaut dinner and memorial service for those attending. Family members will also receive a personalized video of the experience and an official certificate of mission completion specifying mission accomplishments. In 1999, the ashes of renowned planetary geologist Eugene Shoemaker were the first to be sent to the moon. Shoemaker had hopes of becoming an Apollo astronaut, but a medical condition diagnosed in the early 1960s prevented him from doing so. But that dream came true by sending his remains to the lunar surface following a fatal car crash in 1997. Carolyn C. Porco, a planetary scientist at the University of Arizona in Tucson, proposed and produced the tribute. Porco said in 1998, quote, "I felt that this was Gene's last chance to get to the moon and that it would be a fitting end and beautiful tribute to the man who was a towering figure and a pioneer in the exploration of the solar system." And at first I thought, well, that's just really silly. But this guy, 86 years old, and that's his picture back there, and he has some books for purchase. They're on Amazon. He's out of this generation that we need to remember, don't give up on your dreams. Because we're in a world today where dreams are being crushed left and right. And if you speak to some of the Gen Z folks and some of the millennials, and some of those kids are really, really black-pilled. And so at 86 years old, this man has seen much. He grew up with people that lived through the Depression. How many wars? You had Vietnam, you had Korea, you had World War II. He's seen stuff, he's experienced stuff. And in all that, he has overcome. And even if his physical form can't get to the moon while he's alive, he has made plans that a part of him will fulfill his dream. So good for him. And so this is a very uplifting story, and I think all of us need some uplifting stories right now. And at first I thought, God, that's pretty arrogant to think that, aliens would clone him. I don't know that that would be a bad thing. Don't know anything about this gentleman. But, if aliens learn how to read a life story through DNA, that could be way cool. Maybe it would be a good thing if the aliens find his DNA and create a clone of similar people who are overcomers and who know how to persevere. So if you've had experiences with paranormal or supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, you can send me an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com, and the email address is there in the description box, and I'll put the link to the article there as well. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Do the thumbs up thing so that we can get some more pirates. I figure whoever is supposed to be here, they'll eventually find us. But it never hurts for, current crew members to say, hey, there's coffee and there's grog and there's weird. But it's happy weird. Usually it's happy weird. It's weird. Let's put it that way. So do the thumbs up thing. We don't usually remind you, but it does apparently sort of kind of matter. I don't know whether it does or not. What does matter is that you're loved. I always remember that. If you go through the day, it's like that strange little woman that's up there in the mountains. She says she loves me. Somebody loves you. And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cut. Bye.